do you intend to leave Nigeria?
There are certain relationships you can't have from here. There are people you want to meet. You can't meet them here. There are so many barriers. They move around in convoys. You can barely walk up to him. The security guard stops you.
No, but that's not a solid reason enough.
No. I'm just using it as one case study, right?
Because you can still meet the person anywhere and the person doesn't listen to you. I've met very big Nigerians that I'm able to talk to them. It's about value. What are you bringing for them to listen? Trust me, you can be anywhere in the world. If you don't have value, nobody will listen to you.
Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. Welcome to another episode of Wisdom Connect. I trust you love our last episode. I know you did. I saw your comments. So this is Wisdom Connect, the platform where we discuss about real life issues, always taking back to our guiding principle. On this platform, we're very intentional on becoming the best version of ourselves. Before I tell you about today's topic, let's introduce our amazing guests. First of all, to my left is the super gorgeous, beautiful, amazing presenter of the year, expatriate of the year, you know what I mean, is Riyah Abdul. Thank you so much for being here. Love you, sis. And of course, to my right is my amazing wisdom connector, my own person, always showing up for us, Olaolu. Thank you so much for coming back to Wisdom Connect. Thank you. So, for today's topic, whether you traveled abroad or you're back to Nigeria or you wish to travel wherever, whatever the case may be, this is for you. It relates to you one way or the other, right? So today we're talking about Japa or Japada. So sit down, relax. It's going to be an amazing conversation. What do you guys think?
No, I think it's going to be great.
Right.
Brace yourselves because it's going to be a lot.
Yes, I agree. Because I feel like every single person must have had something to do with this Japa or Japada one way or the other. Everybody is running away from something or running away to something. There's just, people are moving. And I think it's even, and you're thinking about it, right? Not to be ahead of myself. I remember reading the Bible and I figured that even Abraham, he ran at some point. Isaac ran at some point. Everybody at some point. There was a reason to just move. Yeah. But that's just one by the way. So let's go into today's topic proper. Right? So my first question really is, what does Japa mean to you beyond just relocating? So what would you say? What does Japa mean to you?
I think it means leaving your comfort zone. You know, maybe you're somewhere and you feel like you can achieve better if you're somewhere else. For me, that's what it means to me.
Leaving your comfort zone. Yeah. Interesting. Love that. So what does Japa mean to you beyond just relocating?
Yeah, beyond just relocating, I believe it's finding your fertile ground. I think that pretty much cuts it.
So are you saying that your fertile ground cannot be where you are?
So that's relative.
Yeah. Nobody ever gets it in their comfort zone. It's not possible. You cannot be in your comfort zone and aspire for greatness. It's never happened.
Wisdom nuggets. You cannot be in your comfort zone and aspire for greatness.
Exactly.
Interesting. Love that. So I'm going to ask you particularly, Riyah, because I understand that you are Ghanaian, right? Even though I thought you were Nigerian, I'm like, oh no, you're Ghanaian, right? And it was amazing because you've been able to, gotten yourself here. You've been so established and rested here in Nigeria. Someone would definitely not know that you're not Nigerian. So, but how was that like for you? Like you living your what was it like? Why did you think of Nigeria when you wanted to leave Ghana? Like, why was Nigeria an option for you?
Okay, so it's beautiful that I'm getting to speak about this now because I never spoke about it. So my dad naturalized in Nigeria. He was Ghanaian, but he naturalized in Nigeria. Okay. So, my mom used to tell me stories because my dad died when I was 2 years old. I don't know him, but my mom always tells me stories of, Alata, because in Ghana we call Nigeria Alata. Like, this is how Nigeria is and all of that. So I've always known that I love Nigeria. I've always known that something's going to call me back to Nigeria. But for me, it had to do with what I do as a journalist. I know that Nigeria is the land of milk and honey when it comes to what I do.
Did you hear that? We are the land of milk and honey, just in case.
When it comes to media, it comes to entertainment, it's big here. And I tell people, when you blow in Nigeria, it's easy to go cut across to other countries like South Africa and even international as well. Not trying to downplay Ghana. Ghana is amazing, but we're quite small. So you can be very good there, but then you're a local champion. People know you just in Ghana, not outside Ghana. And I'll tell you what, when I first came to Nigeria, because before I left Ghana, I was doing playlist, good show, nominated awards and everything. But when I came in, I said playlist, what is playlist? Like, they've never even heard about it. And I'm like, this is more reason why I needed to leave my comfort zone. So for me, I've always had affiliations with Nigeria. I've always loved Nigeria. I think I should have been like Nigerian because I'm very, how do I put it? I'm very eager to do stuff. I'm not laid back.
Yeah.
In Ghana, we're very laid back.
I'm
not to say that because I don't want people to drag me. Not to say that we are not ambitious in Ghana, but you cannot compare it to Nigeria. Nigeria is the fastest last thing, talk about Lagos. Lagos is bubbling.
Yeah.
What's going on? Like
Hustling.
nobody is dulling, and I'm a hustler.
Right.
So I know that I couldn't have stayed there. So for me, leaving my comfort zone was like, you know what? I'm coming to another country, and I'm coming to Nigeria, which my dad had already naturalized in Nigeria, and this is the place for me. I would have gone to South Africa, but I also know that in entertainment, I rank it Nigeria, South Africa first. Because some people put South Africa first, but I put Nigeria first.
I think Nigeria comes first.
So, that's exactly why I'm
amazing,
like, this is the place.
Amazing. Thank you so much for that, Riyah. So coming to you, on the other hand, I know that you're Nigerian, of course. You're Olaolu, you're Yoruba, my guys. Yoruba demons and the like. But do you intend to leave Nigeria? Would you love to leave Nigeria?
That's a tricky question.
Okay.
Right. You know how we spoke about what Japa means.
Okay.
And I said finding your fertile ground.
Yeah.
So it's a function of many things, right? When it comes to looking at the future, you look at what Nigeria can offer you today,
Okay.
right? For me, life has always been about the kind of relationships you have. Relationships cut across business, personal, and then that's little space in between. There are certain relationships you can't have from here because there are so many barriers. There are people you want to meet. You can't meet them here. They move around in convoys. They are always very sensitive when it comes to security.
Okay.
But when you move into certain climes, you can literally walk up to them at the airport, walk up to them in the mall. So those barriers are non-existent. So if you're asking me, do I have plans to? I'd say yes.
Okay.
Right.
But are you now saying, sorry to cut you, but are you now saying that if you were a Riyah, for instance, or you were someone that Japada, even though we're not into Japada yet, we're going to get to that, are you saying that it would be easier for you to approach people that are in convoys, quote unquote, based on what you said?
I don't think he
Here.
put it well. I don't think that's what he was trying to say.
Okay, yeah. So what I was trying to say is, for example, we'll mention names, right? We know Mr. A always goes around in convoys. You can barely walk up to him. The security guard stops
Exactly.
you. And you have, a business proposition you want to share with him because you
Yeah.
believe,
You
based
have-
on where
yeah.
he is, he can be a good partner. But you can't meet him here. It's not possible. It's literally not possible. You can set up appointments. It never happens. Right? But you leave, and then for some reason maybe you're watching a game somewhere.
Okay,
I see what you mean. Okay.
no, but that's not a
It's-
solid reason enough.
No. I'm just using it as one
okay.
case study, right?
Because
So,
you can still meet the person anyway, and the person doesn't listen to you.
yes, but you never know until you have that audience.
No, but I don't
So
want to
to
say
get
that about
into the
Nigeria
room-
because there are some Nigerians that I've met, very big Nigerians that I'm able to talk to them. It's about value. What are you bringing for them to listen? Trust me, you can be anywhere in the world. If you don't have value, nobody will listen to you.
I agree.
I think what he's trying to say is there's more opportunity to meet them, say, outside the country than here. Because, for instance, they don't have their convoys.
I know,
most
but I'm
times
saying
when
that's
they're-
not enough reason to jackpot.
No. He's not saying that's
that's
enough
just
reason. He's
one-
saying that that's just one reason.
I don't
One
think
of
that's part of the
many.
reason.
No, come on, you
One
can't
of
say that.
many.
It's justified.
You
One
can
of
meet them
many.
anywhere.
You know,
really-
we spoke about opportunity. So when we decide
Yeah.
to go, deep down into it, the infrastructure here is nothing compared to what you have
I
there. That's
agree.
one.
Infrastructure,
So that was one
definitely.
thing, right? That was one thing. This another.
Yeah.
Then when it comes to exposure, right? I remember taking a group of people on a trip to South Africa,
Okay.
and then the guy was like, "Oh, I need to plug my phone. I can't let my battery down." I'm like, "Bro, there's 24 hours power. Why are you?"
Why you?
So
'Cause it's coming
there's
from
a
that
limitation
climate
we
of-
have because of
Yeah.
the experience we have in Nigeria, and that's why we encourage people to travel, even if it's just a visit. Just go, have a different experience. There are certain creative sparks inside of you that they are just dormant
I agree.
because the environment here you can't imagine those things being possible.
Okay.
When you go to certain place and you see this thing can happen, you come back and you have a different mindset, and then you start coming up with different things. We've looked at podcasts, we have shows, we have different things that ordinarily people wouldn't think it could work in Nigeria. But because they've stepped out, they've seen things that people appreciate. Let me try this. And then we come back, we try, and then...
So just to interject what you're saying, I've heard that before.
Yeah.
In the sense that when your mind is exposed, you're able to see it. It's just like, let's even just take it back home. Imagine someone that is in Onitsha, for instance. You know how they always say, I want to get to Lagos. Because the idea is in Lagos, things are done better.
But yeah.
There are more opportunities here in Lagos. Not even say Onitsha is far. When I was serving, I served in Abuja.
Yeah.
And I wanted to stay in Abuja because of the chilled life. Like, there's no traffic.
Yeah.
Life is way easier. I remember friends saying to me, Rosemary, come back to Lagos. Because in Lagos, you have more opportunities. You have more organizations that are willing to employ you compared to Abuja. It's not like you cannot get those jobs in Abuja, but it's easier to get it here in Lagos.
Lagos.
So I can understand what you're saying in the sense that, sometimes you just need to change your space or your location or something to be able to get more opportunities.
Yeah.
You feel me? So I think I understand where you're coming from. But guys, do you think that, because I remember it was a bit difficult for me to live in Abuja because I really wanted to settle there. In my head, I'm like, this Lagos is too stressful. The traffic is just traffic is like, so there's data. I don't have the exact figure that said that people spend most of their life in traffic in Lagos. It's crazy. Like most of your life has been spent in traffic. And I was asking myself, or what do you guys think? Do you think that the desire to want to, even though you've answered in a way, but do you think it's more guided by fear than aspiration? Like when you say you want to Japa, is it about the fear of, I don't think I can succeed where I am? Because I'm in a school of thought that thinks that you can succeed wherever you are. But let's just leave that on the side. But do you think it's from the place of, fear, I cannot succeed where I am, and that's why I want to Japa? Or is it like...
So for me, I think that you need to have a very tangible reason. And because we're all youths and we're talking about this, I don't want it to seem like we are telling people to Japa.
Okay.
You can make it to Nigeria.
Okay.
So let's go two ways about it. Because we would not, as Nigerian youths, as I'm a Nigerian now, we would not sit on a podcast and make it look like
Nigerian
it's
now.
It's easy for you to run away.
Exactly.
You can make it to Nigeria. I've seen people that made it to Nigeria, and that's why I'm really countering what he said. I've seen people that walked up. I have walked up to really good people with good proposals, and they have helped me in this same Nigeria.
Right.
So we need to put that out straight as well. Some of them are accessible. You just have to have something to offer to them, and if it's good, they will listen to you.
Okay.
But now the problem is your comfort zone. As long as... Why I say you can make it to Nigeria is because there are a lot of things in Nigeria. It's just that our leaders are the problem. If our leaders can make this place a bit better, trust me, people will not go.
Sure.
Because even this abroad that we talk about, it's not easy there. We know how it is there. It's quite like, even when we talk about Japa, people are there suffering. I was in London, I saw people sleeping on the road. People are still going through a lot there. Do you get my point? So sometimes I like to take it two ways. When I'm talking in podcasts, I'm saying that our government should do better so that these youths can stay. We have a lot of brain drain right now.
Exactly.
Our doctors, most of them are going because they're not treated
they're
well.
not being paid
so
well.
many things are happening that I always blame it on the government, because if Nigeria is a land of milk and honey, just if our leaders are not greedy, if our leaders can try to even make it better for these youths, they will not go. But they are going because they are seeing like, what is going on? Nigeria, doctors, how much are they paying them? Their own salaries. Recently, school children were not able to go into school. So these are the things that are pushing people to Japa. Because trust me, if these things were not happening, Nigerian youths are so enterprising. They will stay here, they will work, and they will make a good living for themselves. Now, for the people that Japa, what I like to say to them is that when you Japa, try to come back home. Because wherever the road leads you to, you will go home. You will definitely go home. There is no way you go
wise
home.
man.
So when I see people that Japa, like, there's no way I will not go back and settle in Ghana and maybe not really stay there, but still establish there.
something.
So even when I see the people, my doctor friend that recently went abroad, I told him, I'm like, when you're well established and everything, come back home and also treat the people here. Don't forget home
I
when
like
they
what you
travel.
said.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we'll pick it from there.
So you want to say something to that?
So, it's very interesting how we get to the point where you can get to a level where you say you are established, right? If you do not grow to that point, there's really nothing you can do back home.
Right.
So let me give you an example. In our financial space, we have people that are moving, they are moving money within Nigeria because they are getting income from abroad, right? So there's a balance. To be honest, we can let me give an example. We look at Israel today. Everybody says, Israel, they are so small in the midst of all that place, and they're the ones causing. Israel is not small.
Right.
The reason why Israel has the strength they have today is because a number of Israelis have become Americans. And they are pulling that weight to support their country back home. So there is a balance to it. There are people who will not Japa. I mean, it's a standard.
So
there are people who would leave. But the truth is, there's one thing we have in common. We are all still Nigerians, even if you become a natural somewhere else.
Yeah.
So we have, the benefit of those who are outside pulling weights and supporting those who are staying back home.
Yeah.
And a number of them get to a point where they feel, you know what, I've done enough here. Let me go back home, start something, and then give
So I
my
want to
guys more
digress a bit
opportunities.
because I agree with what you guys are saying 100%. I'm a big fan of, even if you have to go anywhere, don't forget to do something at home because this is home, no matter what, right? But I remember seeing a comment on Instagram just this week, and someone was saying that they are scared to invest in Nigeria, like because of the way things are happening, because of the like what you said, our governments, things are not, things are not happening. Like for instance, I know of different companies that left Nigeria as at last year, last 2 years. I think Guinness is one of them, if I'm not mistaken. But they had to leave because of the power situation and all of that. Like, so what you guys think? Because a number of people, I believe that outside this country want to come back. So we're gonna get to that point. So we have a number of recordings from people from wisdom connectors outside of Nigeria that have sent in a recording, tell us if they wish to come back, why they want to come back. So What do we say to people that feel like they are scared to invest in this country?
But are you not scared? We are all scared. We've seen the thing. And that's why I said it earlier on. I'm like, the government needs to do better. We talk about real estate. How many people have been duped? How many people have built houses and they'll tell you they want to build roads and they'll demolish all your houses? People back home, why would you want to even invest? Agriculture, what is happening in agriculture? Right now, the president is trying with agriculture, but I know a friend that all his land where he was, planting and everything, he was taken off because they said the coastal road. In Nigeria, something will just come up and then, your properties. So I see with the people that are scared because Nigeria is volatile. You don't know what is happening. 1 minute is okay, the next minute something is going on. And it's sad.
Now,
and
I'm going to counter that a bit because I feel like sometimes, right, this information are out there, but people don't get to see it. Like, for instance, because of the height of corruption, and I said that because you mentioned the coastal road. From the information I have, that information was out there. The landlords knew about it. They knew that this road would be demolished at some point, but they didn't tell their clients.
I will not believe it until I see it. Because I know there's this particular, I'm not going to mention his name because he's a good friend. I know that he paid money for them not to touch his buildings. So what are you trying to tell me?
He
Where was
paid,
the road
but it does
then?
not mean that was not the plan.
I'm not talking about the coastal road. I'm talking about there was a time they said there was this gutter thing they are doing around the Chevron side or something. They were trying to build like drainage that they went to. This, I'm not going to mention names, but at the end of the day, they didn't touch it.
They didn't touch it. That's the problem. So
We are in Nigeria.
Two wrongs.
The two wrongs. Exactly. But normally, maybe in the structure of Lagos State, that should have been touched. I'm
Then
guessing.
why did you sell it to them then?
That's the problem. That's what we're saying.
If you knew that there's a problem, why did you sell it to them?
That's the
So
problem.
for me, I won't even blame the buyer. I'll blame the seller because you knew that you were going to take it over at some point. So what was the reason? Why did you sell it?
Because they want to make money, quick money. But let's even just leave right away. That's what we're just talking about, the whole corruption thing that we're facing in Nigeria. But I don't want us to focus on all the bad because the truth is there's still very,
A lot
very
of
much.
good,
Oh,
There's
yeah.
so
Definitely.
much good happening in this country, right? I'm a big fan of Nigeria. I remember Abraham saying to me, you like Nigeria, you don't
Yeah.
intend to leave. But really, as much as I love Nigeria and I want to invest, but we also need to call a spade a spade. When things are not going on, they're not going on. But moving on to my next question, because I remember a lot of my family members would say to me, Rosemary, I don't know what you're still doing in that country. They're like, just leave. Do this, and just leave. And to be honest, I see their pain. I see their concerns. Like, it is not out of place to be worried for me. It's not out of place to say, Rosemary, why don't you do this thing differently? You've been here for a bit. How about try something else? And I see it, right? But I feel like oftentimes, like we hear stories of maybe people let me not call names. They were part of Nigeria where they say, the women will say to their kids, are you not seeing what your mates are doing? Go and join them. I don't, the people I'm talking about. You know them?
Yeah.
You know them? So we'll not call names, right? And they'll be like, go and join them and sometimes I'm wondering, are we going to say family is one of our greatest influence to want to Japa because you feel like you need to do better? Do you think that family ties or family pressure can be a reason why people want to Japa? If you've watched till now, then I'm telling you, you are the real MVP. Thank you so much for staying till the end of this episode. I told you it was such an amazing conversation you had in the studio. So for you out there that is watching us, please like, comment, subscribe, share this video. Let people know the story behind Japa and Japada. There's so much in store. So I'll be looking forward to your comments. I would want to read them. And of course, I would like to share more ideas with you. So if you've not subscribed, please, this is just where it is. Just subscribe right here. And yes, you'll be able to see more videos. I'll put on your notification bell so that every time we post a new video, you get to see. God bless you. Bye.